you'd say.
Aye.
I'm whacked.
Thee and me both.
No matter. Have a lay in tomorrow, it's Sunday.
Aye.
Remember that time we went off looking for work? That Doss house we stopped in, Peterborough way.
Aye.
I'd never left home before. No since. Till now.
There's not leaving now. Not taking it with thee.
I suppose.
Been to Brown Cow lately?
Nay, not since January. 9 months ago. I'm a stranger to Brown Cow.
Be handy for thee now. Just round corner. She still live in Galwick? Thy friend?
Nay. She moved on.
How's Ethel taking it now, then?
Oh, we've now to say to each other. I sleep in Pat's room and she sleeps with Ethel. We live in the same house and we've now to say to each other.
I'll catch you up.
Cowley Street Chapel. Your mum worked there for a bit when Toby started his sewing factory.
I remember. Left you to do dusting.
Who did Toby leave this to, I wonder?
Harry Wilson, Sam says.
His dad, eh? That should bring him back something for note.
He switch petrol tank off when he stops. It's stiff. It's to use a hammer.
Bloody car.
I wish you were coming with us.
Les is going to miss Sam.
It's only a mile or two. He'll not forsake young Les.
They've shared that bedroom for years. He's closer to Sam than he is to Alan.
I think Sam's got something for him, to make it up to him for him going.
Oh, I hope it's nothing that'll cause trouble again. But Alan couldn't afford to buy him.
Polly, will you tell that son of yours to take his best shoes off and put his Odins on when he's moving furniture?
Won't you take notice of you, then?
No, I'll not ask him. I'll not give him satisfaction.
These keys are yours. And these are George's.
Why do these houses look different from t'others?
I've had them done, haven't I?
I'd as soon have them as they were.
If you don't paint wood, it rots, Grandad.
It sets us apart from t'others.
I know. I've had 6 of them put their names down in case any of mine come empty. I have to see a bloke at the chapel here. I'll be back when I've done. Cheer up, Grandad. You'll live it down.
He spent some money.
Aye, I'll not deny that.
He's done all 6. Not just ours and his own.
It's to be hoped we shall not regret it.
Nay, Dad, be reasonable.
Why has he not done them 8 on t'other street?
There's been a clearance order on him since before the war. He spent up on these any road, I told you.
They could shove a clearance order on these and all.
They're not likely to. Not after he's done all this.
They could be forced to. They're swayed by Taffy Dent.
Hey, mamma like this.
Oh, they bloody stink, they do. If this talk goes on about him serving Corby, they'll drop him and save their faces any way they can. Where he said leave 'em standing, they'll say knock 'em down.
He's against condemning houses as well as a shortage, that's all. The rest bad gossip. There's no trust in folk these days.
They should declare their intention and take the land over. We've been landlord-ridden all his lives, and a bad lot they've been. There's barely a house, neither here nor at Skeleton, that's not suffered it. Leaking roofs, rotten windows. Ah, now we've got one in bloody family.
Well, it's proved that Taffy Dent could be right in a way.
Right not to condemn. Are we to live in them for the rest of his lives, then?
What's wrong with these against what we put in the place? Prefabs like a cuddy. Sometimes you have to do what's practical.
Take second best, you mean?
One step at a time.
That's Taffy, all right. I didn't think it was thee.
Facing facts, that's all.
Aye, I ain't giving in to him.
They want the same thing in the end.
It's not wanting that counts, it's bloody getting.
He lives just round the corner here, doesn't he, Taffy?
Aye, across from Chapel.
Still working at union offices?
Aye, but they'd give his job to somebody else when they went to the sanatorium. They've taken him back part-time when he's able.
5 kids and no wife. How does he manage?
Their Cassie had to give up a good job to look after 'em all. She's got more go in her than her dad has.
Still knocking about with our Sam, is she?
She'd the sense to pack him up. She deserves full marks for that.
Overdone it again.
Nay, Cassie, I've not.
Well, it's a penny bus ride. Did you have to walk?
It meant an hour's wait. Sam Wilson come.
Sam Wilson?
He left a message for Annie last night that he'd be round.
He didn't tell me. What does he want?
You. He says he's not slept since you chucked him.
Oh, shut up.
He wants Dad to plead with you to take him back.
He hasn't been, anyway. It's no hardship for him to come again. He's only round the corner. They moved today.
Fancy you knowing that?
Yes, that's enough, Annie.
Upstairs and rest.
Must I?
You know you must. Come on.
Call me if he comes.
It's time you grew up.
Honestly, I'll start work next Monday. I should be bringing money in.
You'll get no special treatment for that.
Should give you me keep like Frida Moore gives her mother.
You'll give me your wage and I'll decide. Frida Moore's got her dad working full time.
We only pay half the rent they do. Theirs went up to 16 shillings last month.
Who told you that?
I heard Frida's dad say that Corby had put it up. I looked in the rent book and ours is 7 and 6.
You didn't tell them.
It's 'cause Dad's a friend of either Corby's, isn't it?
Who said?
Frida Moore. She says we pay less rent. I didn't tell her honest, she knew.
Well, how could she know?
Well, she did, that's all. Shouldn't you tell me, Dad?
No. It's talk. I don't want him to hear it.
But it's right, Cass. I looked in the rent book. Honest.
Well, the other half's paid direct.
By you?
Well, the union pays it direct. It's a sort of allowance Dad gets for being sick.
Dad were your mate of Arthur Corby's at school. Dad got a scholarship to King Edward's and Corby didn't. And Corby's rich and we've got nought.
What's that got to do with it?
Oh, why should we suffer?
Morris Naylor.
Sam Wilson.
Aye.
Hello.
How do?
I asked you to meet me here because it's this place I want to see you about.
How much of it's in use nowadays, this place?
Well, they've got a dozen machines in this bottom half here. The rest, derelict. You've dealt with me, Father, before, your grandfather's will and so on.
Oh, you're a solicitor, then?
Oh, an accountant. It's a separate firm. We handle your grandfather's accounts.
Going bust, is it?
Good heavens, no. They've got another year to run on the contract they're working on. After that, well, there's nobody to get new orders, for one thing.
What's it to do with me?
Well, you're a trustee, pending your father turning up. I thought my dad explained.
He tried. I'd have known as much if he'd talked double Dutch.
You've been here before?
Aye.
I was supposed to come and work here years back. I went to pit instead.
Still there?
Aye, still there. Hey, what's it worth to me, this place?
Oh, nothing while your father's alive.
I'm a trustee for now, then.
What's to look after his interests?
That's a laugh. I've not seen him since I was 9.
Yes, my dad said. You agreed you'd be a trustee, though.
Suppose so. What can you say when a chap's dying? I thought there might be a few pounds in it. Hey, I can't sell your raw condemned houses, can I? I've had 6 done up on Cowley Street, but I've got 8 on a street lower down that have been condemned.
I might be able to find you a buyer.
Who buys houses that are condemned?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Would you like me to look around for you?
I have to find from somewhere. I've not paid the plumber 50 quid or more. I'd not get 30 on the car. That's what I paid for it.
You know you can have your father presumed dead if he's not been seen for 7 years. You see, your grandfather made a gift over. Now, if you can get an order of court to presume him dead, this place comes to you. Now, my dad said he went to Canada 14 years ago. Last heard of just before the war.
Mum? Aren't we going home, Mum? Mum?
What?
When are we going home, Mum?
When? Yes, when? And when we do, you've nothing to do as you're told. And speak when you're spoken to, and not upset your dad like you do. Or one day he'll go away and he won't come back. He won't come back one day and never, ever, never come back.
This place comes to you. My dad said he went to Canada 14 years ago. Last heard of just before the war. I've learned in my business, you can't assume anything. You'd have to prove you'd made every effort to find him, of course.
It can't be worth much, this place.
Oh, I think you'd be surprised. Of course, I wouldn't like to say, off the cuff.
What do you want to see me for, then?
Billy Plowright. He was a sort of foreman here when your grandfather was alive. Took over the paperwork when he died, on-the-spot stuff, you know, we did the rest. Well, he wants to retire. He's willing to stay on a few months to show somebody the ropes, but we need to appoint someone else.
You can see to it, can you?
If you want me to.
I've no interest in this place. Do as you think best.
Best chair, as usual.
First come, first served.
It's easy to be first come when you stop work first.
Have you told them that's a lot?
Is it?
Aye. Let's get moving. Let's get off.
Nothing we've left behind.
Like what?
Like my mum, for instance.
I'll go in front with the men.
Where's Les?
Oh, he's watching through bedroom window.
Sulking.
Well, he's a bit put out. So would you be. Tell Sam I'll wait here till he comes for me.
What's up?
Nothing.
What's the mate?
Me, mate.
It's not gone far, young Pat. Took me bus ride, that's all. Come here.
Off upstairs.
They're not going moping up there. Come here. Am I not a mate for thee, then? Yeah. Take this tuppence to Mrs. Hollands. Get this in summoned. What do I lack that he wants?
Come away then.
Dad's asleep. There's a council meeting tonight. I don't want to wake him.
Oh. Where you been hiding yourself, Cassie?
Yeah.
Still working at Weston's?
My 4 kids to look after.
Why don't I take you dancing sometime?
Why?
You want a reason?
I think I want quick.
Last time I asked, you said not.
And you never ask twice, do you?
You've vanished.
I wasn't far from sight for anybody that wanted to look.
You look smashing on it anyway, Cassie.
Forget it, Sam.
Forget what?
You know.
How is he these days, anyway? Your dad?
Worse. Walking tires him, and it's all walking when you're on council.
Hey, I've an old jalopy outside. I could cart him round on polling day if he wants.
He's not standing. He can't. He'd be dead in a year. Do you want the job? It'll take up most of your spare time. No dancing. You get no money, small thanks, and they talk about you behind your back, but they tell me it's very rewarding.
How old are you, Cassie?
Mind your own business.
About my age, by my reckoning. 24 at most. Sour at 24, Cassie.
Thanks. I was wrong about you being a smooth talker. Any more own truths?
Been reading?
I read, yes.
Cass, can I have... Oh, hello. Cass, can I have 6pence, please?
Out of your first wages next Friday week. You'll be skint, to warn you. Now then, that's 5 bob you only up to now, right?
Thanks, Cass, you're a treat. Try then.
Make an impression on you?
I'm not a bloody baby snatcher, Cassie.
Sorry. It's sour grapes, I suppose. You have a lot of fun, don't you, Sam? Get a lot out of life.
I'll come back some other time.
Did you get your school cert?
Nay. I didn't take it in the end.
I did.
Passed.
Well, all but Latin. I don't seem to be able to cope with it on my own. So I don't suppose I'll ever get that external degree now, will I?
Yeah, there's other things in life.
You'll be stopping at Pitt then?
Happen. Grandad Wilson left me some houses.
Oh, yes, I heard. So you're a landlord then? They all come here, the landlords, looking for favours. You think it was Buckingham Palace. Didn't you know that? Hadn't you heard?
I don't take notice of all I hear, Cassie.
Then why come?
For advice, Happen. I'm new to being a landlord.
Yes. Well, it's all free. We haven't got 2pence, but it's all free. Only not today, thanks. He's ill, and he's got enough on his plate. Why don't you do a bit? Waste too much boozing time, would it?
You're sour, Cassie.
Sam?
Oh, he woke you.
I knocked me off, right? You wanted me?
Nay, I did. Sorted itself out. I came round to propose to Cassie, but she'll not have me at any price. Will you, Cass?
Will she not, then?
Reads me like a book, does Cass. Knows all about me. Don't you, Cass? You can't fool Cass.
Oh, shut up.
I'll see you, Taffy. Look after yourself.
Nah, I'm well enough looked after.
All right. You are at that.
I thought you'd not been seeing him.
I've not, have I? It's all his talk. He walks in here as if he'd left you on the doorstep last night. Where have you been, Cassie? Says as if I'd deserted him.
Best friends can be like that, Cass.
Remember you when they need you, you mean?
Don't let it sour you, Cass.
That. You want to check stubs as well?
I shall need them, yes.
Oh, the devil, she hides them. I told her to keep the damn things. He can go away tomorrow.
No, but we're seeing Sarah tonight.
I'll give them to Sarah then. Prize them out of her mother somehow.
Interested in buying houses?
I'd rather build a few more. You can't get the bloody stuff. Fat chances of Bevan's 5 million houses he promised.
Well, he didn't promise when.
No. Oh, aye, you don't crafty there, all right. You're one of them as voted for Atlee, aren't you?
Well,
embarrasses you now, does it?
no.
It would me, my God, it would. What was it Churchill said? An empty cab pulled up, and Mr. Atlee got out. You know somebody is selling it?
Aye, he might do.
Where are they?
Side of Cowley Street Chapel.
That's handy. I own all but 2 streets of them.
They're condemned. It's a clearance error since before the war.
Things stand it is, aye.
The clearance order could be lifted, you mean?
There's a council meeting tonight. I've offered to do mine up if they take the order off. Have a demolition and redevelopment valuation on similar property. I'll give him 10 quid a house on the top of that price. If the order stands after the meeting tonight, well, he's 10 quid a house better off, isn't he? Will he fancy a gamble, do you think?
No harm in asking.
Yeah. I'll have to be quick off the mark. You can see me here tonight at 8:30.
Oh, your tobacco. What are you doing here?
Fighting in one of his accounts and losing. Is she there?
She's gone upstairs.
Well, tell her to come and find the damn check stubs, will you?
We're going out with you and Jessie tonight, aren't we?
I gather, yes.
Good. I'll see you later then.
That David treating her right, do you think? And she's not likely to give him his ring back again, is she?
I think you should maybe ask Sarah that.
Tell me to mind my own damn business. I've had 7 years of it. For 5 of them, they made the war the excuse for not getting married. Now I'm not sure if they're suited. She'll end up on the shelf if she's not careful. Tell that chap I'll wait in for him, will you? 8:30 sharp. What's his name?
Sam Wilson.
They're busy on next door. Best part of our lot's in.
Don't knock yourself up.
It's time somebody took a chance on it. Them 2 they sent will be there next Christmas.
Mum says his stove working in here.
Ain't it working next door?
We haven't got one.
On my way back to Skeleton to pick up your gran, I'll call at the gas company. All right? How's it going your end?
Oh, I'm still passing messages.
Messages?
Between me mum and dad. They said about 6 words to each other in as many months. I want me own bed back. I don't like sleeping with mum.
Nah, it'll pass.
And what's he falling out with you for?
He's not. Not that I know.
Nobody'll ever tell me, I suppose.
Sam, someone to see you.
Hello, Morris.
Sam? Go on then, young'un. We've work to do. You've gone to town.
As much as you can with the stuff you can get.
Don't the others on the street the same?
Aye, more or less.
Seems a pity to sell the other 8.
Not much option, have I? Me grandad.
I do.
I think I've found you a buyer. If you can see him at 8:30 tonight.
What's the rush?
Better ask him. Now, he says it's a gamble. You see, while the clearance order stands, those houses aren't worth very much. About £40 each. Now, he's offering 10 quid a house on top of that, but only if you'll see him at 8:30 tonight. Now, if you've got a piece of paper, I'll give you his address.
Write it down on there.
I do his accounts. He's tough. He's straight.
And he gambles.
Aye. He gambles.
Thanks.
You go in the Brown Cow, don't you?
Now and then.
I'll maybe see you there tonight. You know, if those houses weren't under a clearance order, you could borrow money to do this sort of thing.
They are, though.
Well, clearance orders have been lifted. I'll see you tonight.
Borrow money, eh?
No, Grandad.
Live off credit, eh?
One at a time. Let's wait to go upstairs with.
I know what's written on there, you know. Him that gambles on the roofs over other folks' heads. Only he doesn't gamble on chaps like you, he wins.
8 houses with a clearance order on them.
There was a clearance order on another street that Corby owned. He got taken off.
By the council. It's policy to keep the old houses.
Perpetuate the slums, you mean?
Like this? Like this, then?
They're shoving sawdust in car sumps, they tell me, so that folks don't know that the engines wore out when
Find
they
the
buy them.
wallpaper.
That's the sort of job that Corby does. He'd not do work like this. He'd not spend brass like you have.
Christ, he's giving me bloody credit.
There's too much at stake. We've spent all our lives at the mercy of chaps like Corby.
A roof or no roof, that's what's at stake. If Corby wins out on me and makes the street fit to be lived in, he'll be doing what I could have done given the brass. But that'd make me a landlord 8 times over, wouldn't it, Grandad? That wouldn't suit you either, would it, Grandad? You want it both bloody ways. Where do you want this? Taffy Dent's right. They're not building the houses. You can't get the stuff. I should know. You should see what I paid for this lot. You have to live in this world as it is, Grandad.
You can say that to me that's lived through what you'll never know.
You have to live in this world as it is.
No. No, by God, no. There's little enough of what we want for ourselves that we shall get in this life. But we've had it better than what us fathers had, poor sods. We shall die in the muck we've lived and worked in. We shall die in a war that's been waged since before we was born. It's others that shall reap what we sowed, that shall stand on our shoulders, as we stood on the shoulders of them that stood fast before us. Oh, are we not the men us fathers were?
That's my bed.
Oh, aye.
Goes in front room.
Front bedroom.
Front room downstairs. Ah, front room downstairs. I'll have that chair in there and all. I could have a kettle if I had a stove.
Dad, my mum's gone next door to make tea.
I could be on my own.
Dad,
I could have a fire, though. I could make toast.
Does this belong to Lodger as well?
Lodger.
He must just gone out.
I mean me dad.
Upside down, are you?
Aye, a bit.
Well, I'm not moving again. I've told him. Cemetery's my next move.
No thanks, Edie. We're off the skeleton when Frank's drunk up.
I saw your eyes light up when I mentioned the cemetery.
Well, have you sold them?
Corby was out. I saw his daughter. I'll have to go back tonight, as he said.
You're not a bad landlord, as they come.
You know that accountant? He said I could happen borrow to do him up, but if that clearance order stands, I'd lose the lot. That applies to Corby unless he knows something I don't. Do you believe it about Taffy?
But he's not standing in November. It won't matter then, will it?
What's the ward committee say?
I can't tell you that, can I?
I went to see Taffy for advice. Didn't bring it up in the end, cast her me sour on it. She acts as if she knows what's said about him. You know, if there was a chance of that order being lifted, I'd keep them houses sooner and let them go to Corby.
There's a council meeting tonight.
What do you think, Frank, about Taffy? Straight.
It's not what I think that counts.
Do you think I should see him again?
No. No, I don't.
what's this?
It's a shell, isn't it?
Me, where did it come from?
When we had a day out once, before the war. Me and your mother, Sam, Aunt Dora and Uncle Alan.
Me Aunt Dora and Uncle Alan weren't married, were they?
We don't talk about that, do we?
Why not?
Because we don't, that's all.
I knew you'd taken these next door. I knew we'd not left them. I shall want them steps through here. George, will you come in here a moment, please? Who put that there?
I did. And it's bloody stopping.
It's not, you know. Don't you use language
Mine!
after me.
I'm having no more of it, no more of it. I'm having my own front door and everything.
They're talking again,
I'm living in
Grandad.
front room. I've got my bed in and all.
What about the other two?
Want me to play them now?
No, we've got to go. I mean, are they all right? Will they suit?
Did you choose them?
Nah, I know nothing about music, do I? Frank chose them. I'd have bought you one of those electric gramophones, only there aren't many about.
It's one of these I wanted.
You don't mind a bit of elbow work, then?
That's how I come to like music. Winding me Uncle Frank's up.
Winding it?
Aye.
What, not listening to it, just winding it?
Aye, at first.
And I thought you were another little Mozart. Learn to appreciate music. Get a gramophone and wind it. I'll go see if Mum's ready.
Are you off?
Just up the road to Galwick. When are you going to come and see me?
When can I?
Any time you like.
Tomorrow.
Aye, only let me lay abed a bit, eh? I'm your brother, Les. Not just a mate. More than a mate, eh? Mates come and go, but brothers go on forever, right? Forever. I'll see you tomorrow, Les.
See you, Sam.
I don't want him done down by Corby. Corby's sharp and the lad thinks he knows it all.
What makes you think it's to do with me, Jack?
How many houses have been condemned round here since the war ended?
None.
Why?
You know why? We can't afford to condemn houses. Or pull down them that's already condemned.
Whose gospel's that?
Well, mine, I suppose. Only it's a fact, not a cause.
I'd have pulled the bloody lockdown, I would.
Your heart's got a grip of your head, Jack.
It's telling you who's in charge, that's all.
You'd think different if you're the doing of it.
If Martin closes, and it will, there'll be houses and to spare round here, Taffy. What'll you do then?
What will council do, you mean?
You know what I mean.
Well, we'll face that when we come to it.
We know it's going to happen. What's against making a start now? Time's against us. Let's have 'em down. There's a stink of the past in 'em.
If you want the houses down, Mr. Barraclough, why shouldn't your Sams be included?
I want 'em included, but Corby thinks they'll not be. Why would he offer to buy 'em off him else?
He's a gambler, is Arthur.
You keep room company there, Taffy.
I asked no man what company I'm to keep.
You expose yourself.
I was schooled with Arthur Corby. He lived with us for a while when his mam died. We were lads together.
You've gone different roads, Taffy.
And none of yours gone different from what you wanted. Have you cast 'em out because of it? And do you stop from hoping that you've something to offer that might rub off on 'em?
Want to go in for a last look before I take key back?
Nay, I've had my last look.
Back again, George?
Aye.
We'd given you up for lost.
Hey, Dave!
Fine. Same again.
Nah. I'm off when I finish this.
Ethel Street yet?
Whereabouts?
Fresh start, eh? Mates again.
Leave it be, Sam.
What other way was there, George? There was no future in it. She knew it better than you, the woman.
Just leave it be, eh?
You'd not come in here if you'd not got over it.
You've learned now, have you?
I know that much.
Do you?
I'll get me own George?
I have to live in the same world as other folks, haven't I? When you've learned what it feels like, you'll have learned something.
Hello, drummer.
Sam? I saw you from the other room and waiting for friends. Are you going to Corby's?
I went early. He was out.
You know, I've been thinking, if you lose that 80 quid Arthur's ready to gamble, you could still sell at the demolition price, pay the plumber, and be in pocket.
They have fun, don't they, these property blokes? It's better than the GGs. You know, there's 8 families living in those 8 condemned houses of mine. Have you always come home to a roof over your head?
Yes, I have. You?
Aye. I've never been too sure of it.
He's not a bad landlord, is Corby, though.
You should say things like that in the best room, not in here. Anyway, I shall likely sell to Corby to pay the plumber, shan't I? Whatever. I need it quick.
That plumber. You know, it doesn't grow on trees, you know. You listen to your granny.
Granny?
It's a nickname. The glasses.
What you drinking, Granny?
I'll wait for the girls if you don't mind.
Girls? With a nickname like that? Lady!
All in good time.
We've arrived.
Oh, where are they?
Rowing in the car park. I thought they might shut up if I stood there, but no, not a chance.
What's it about this time?
Oh, God knows.
Corby thinks it's David all the time.
Oh, Arthur would. Arthur thinks his little girl can do no wrong, Arthur does. Why aren't you in the other room?
Well, I met a bloke. The chap I told you about.
Oh.
There she comes.
Where's David?
Don't forget bloody David.
Drink?
Gin and orange as large as you like.
Usual?
Yes.
Oh, Sarah, this is...
I'm Jessie.
How do?
Sarah.
We've met.
Oven will not be the same.
Eh?
Best oven in Long Row, that of ours was. That and my mum's.
Well, why should you mourn it? What cooking do you do?
I eat, don't I? Is that what counts?
You what?
Well, if nobody ate, you couldn't tell no different, could you? One oven from next.
Oh, I suppose you think it did it all on its own, that oven.
More or less.
Yeah, well, we'll see, shan't we?
Pat gone to bed?
Put her in her own room.
Oh.
It's time she was back on her own.
Aye.
Well, isn't it?
Happen.
First day we moved, seemed best time.
Aye.
Fresh start.
Aye.
So, you'll be in with me.
Aye.
Aye. You'll be in with me.
Aye.
Yeah, I like
You reckon of a screw loose, don't you, turning me back on the sewing factory?
No. It can't be easy to ask a court to declare your father dead. How old would he be if he's still alive?
Not far off 50, I reckon. My granddad reckons he'll have done naught with his life, else he'd have come back boasting. They were all rich, the dads I invented in school. There weren't many of us didn't have one. Better off with a dead un. Didn't have to make excuses for him. Mine was in Canada, making a fortune. They couldn't understand it, the lads, when I went down pit, living on Long Row all my life. Couldn't call me a liar, because they knew he'd gone to Canada. You can live off a tale that's half true at the pit, but not the other kind.
It's not a life I know anything about, I'm afraid.
Don't be afraid, mate. Be grateful. The working class struggle's what it says, a bloody struggle.
We're supposed to be making a new world, aren't we?
The welfare state, you mean?
It's a start.
It's all we'll get, Granny. It's the lot.
That's a bit cynical, isn't it?
Who had the money before the war? Corby. Who's got it now? Corby. You don't get a new world on tick.
Morris!
Ah, she can knock it back, can't she, Corby's lass?
You're being watched.
Me?
It's your grandfather, isn't it?
Keeping an eye on me. He'd like me to be a landlord, me grandad. Then he could rant on at me. Chip off that bloody block that went to Canada, he'd say. Hi, Grandad.
Hey, it's way past 8:30, you know.
Right. Corby will be looking at his big gold watch. It's nothing to him, a few houses. But he'll not like to be kept waiting. Not a bad life, is it?
You'll go.
I'm working on it.
Sarah!
What's the going to do about that now?
You better leave this to me.
What are you going to do about it? Didn't do it on purpose.
What about me
did
bloody
I?
pint?
You're a clumsy devil, aren't you, Charlie?
I'll do it, Charlie.
Here we are.
I want to go with Morris.
You can't, it's a two-seater. And he went 5 minutes since.
I want to go with Morris.
I'll feed you to those lads in there if you get out again. They don't like their pints knocked over.
What a nasty man.
Shift your legs. Have to switch the petrol tap on. It's stiff.
Oh, how intimate. You done?
Aye.
You want some more bread and butter?
No.
There's plenty more tea if you'd like it.
No, I'm done.
I'll leave these to soak till morning. Oh, I got you some fags while I was out. They're up there in that jar, if you want them.
Aye. Right then.
You're quite sure there's nothing else you want?
Yeah, I'm right.
Well, I'll be off up then.
Aye.
You come when you're ready.
Aye.
You'll not disturb me.
Nay.
I'll not be asleep.
Better.
I've been sick, if that's what you mean.
I thought you'd gone quiet. You were chirping like a sparrow in the car.
But Dad's out. Was it important?
Nay, just since I was here. We'd a gamble in mind.
If you've got a gamble with Dad, I can tell you now you'll lose.
Aye, I can see that. You don't get all this playing fair.
Ah, bad loser.
It's the game I don't like.
Scared you might win. Some people are, I'm told.
You wouldn't know though, would you? You've never had to play it. Your dad's always played it for you.
And yours hasn't.
What would you know about it?
Nothing. Just the way you bit back at me, you'd the taste of sour grapes.
Your dad was a pit man once, like me, I've heard. He likes this better, eh?
I don't think I've ever asked him.
I like to travel light. You're wasted on me.
Probably wasted on me.
You drink too much.
I think that's my business.
You wait on other people's favours.
I beg your pardon.
I was watching you in the pub. Eyes on the door all night. There's no future in it waiting for doors to open. People come back because they want to. Not because you want them to.
Good old homely philosophy.
I speak as I know. I'm not Professor George.
He's back. I'll tell him you're here. Thanks for the ride and the lecture.
You brought my daughter home, she tells me.
Had to come anyway, at 8:30.
You're the chap Morris Nealer sent, are you?
I'm late.
Aye.
Well, they're yours if you want 'em. Have a plumber to pay.
10% now, rest on contract. You have to take a cheque.
Ah, as long as it doesn't bounce.
Your solicitor were the same as Toby's, I take it.
If the council take this clearance order off, I could lose out on this, couldn't I?
You could, aye. Well, you want this, don't you?